Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
The Daily Dish. Hello, I'm glad you're here. So today we are, it's Wise Women's Wednesday. What can I say about that? Except that wise women show up on Wednesdays. And there's Lynn. Speaking of wise women, I also see Butterfly and Flynn. So good to have you here. Oh my goodness, Flynn, I left that pretty scarf upstairs. Flynn sent me the most beautiful handmade scarf. I'm going to have to do show and tell tomorrow. Put it on my list. I promise you I'm going to put it on my list. Noreen and Catherine, hello. It's so good to see you, everyone. So we're going to have a really good show today because we have been all this week discussing this whole unnerving idea of paradox and how that affects us and how this moves the needle in our lives. Hey, Susan. Chris is here. There's my girl, Nancy. Cheers, Nancy. Here's to Mother Hen. And so we're going to talk about that today. We're going to really speak on this and how the paradox of change is really dependent on practice and not just any practice. So it's a short show, but it's every word has weight to it. So really, pay attention to this one. I promise you, it's a needle mover. Hello there, Vicky. Hello, Vanessa. You like my hair? It's a little frizzy. I just didn't, this is just blown out. So anyway, thank you. I like it so much better. It's so much easier. It took me like 5 minutes to get it done. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate that. So Dream Team's here. You know who they are. Say hi to Jenny, Amber, and of course, Lindsay, who's they're somewhere. They're hanging out. Can I just say, and even though it's closed, I'm just going to mention this, that if you have the opportunity in the future to do one of our small groups, whether it's Inner Circle, the Rising Tide, or our new confidence course, do it. I have to say, last night I was blown away with the women in this group and the care, the love, the way this group is already coming together. First time we met, too. And it's an opportunity, especially for those of you who are saying, I want to grow, I want to have that next level up in my life. Well, you have an opportunity to do that. And we don't charge an arm and a leg for some of these things, because I've been in these courses before and it's in the thousands. This is not how this is. So Evelyn, you need help? We're willing to help you out. If you need immediate help, do send an email right now to support@savingdinner.com and we will take care of you. You wanted to join and forgot because you're off camping? Lynn, we'll let you in. You know us. God, I would love my Lynn there. She's so lovely. Anyway, so that's, yes, I can help you. Of course we can. We're all about helping people. That's what we do here. That's our mission. Anyway, so lots of things going on. A couple of things that I want to bring to your attention. Hey, Lucy. First of all is, if you are not getting our text messages, you're missing out on an opportunity for one, an exclusive deal, and two, for lots of fun freebies that nobody else is getting. It's an exclusive little circle. It's a text message. And all you need to do to join is pull up your phone, pull up your text message application, text the word join, all in caps, to this phone number, 855-960-3720, and bada bing, bada bang, you're in like Flynn. Just follow the prompts. Join is in caps, and so is the word yes. Yes, Y-E-S. Okay? So we have that. The other thing that I want to make sure that you are completely aware of is go to TikTok and watch us. Can I just tell you that? I want you to go to TikTok and start watching us, because we are blowing up out there. And all the different content, you're not going to see it anywhere else. Okay, Evelyn, I think you're probably a troll. So I think we need Evelyn to go. Sorry, Evelyn, but I need food kind of a thing. There's food pantries for that kind of thing. Nobody can help feed somebody on YouTube or Facebook. So there it is. So I just want to mention that. Terry, Vanessa, and who else did I just see right there? I saw Jocelyn. I wanted to say hello to Jocelyn. So I have that to tell you about. I also have Full Bloom to tell you about, because you need this time to get ready to come to Brevard. It's here almost. Well, how many weeks away? 11 weeks away. July 29th, 30th, and I'm even going to say 31st because it's a drop-in brunch. If you get here on that Friday, we will take care of you all the way through. That's how it works. And here's the thing you need to know. You need to start making your arrangements now, because we have a thread going in our Hot Melt Sprint group. This is going to help you out, because this will help you get a roommate, make arrangements with transportation, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be held here at my house. We have room for 50 women. Believe it or not, we have a huge deck, and we're going to maximize all the space. And you will be overlooking beautiful Lake Wantesca. You'll be on my boat for wine and cocktails, and not cocktails, wine and appetizers and the whole bit. And the whole day will be spent on content on Saturday and a drop-in brunch on Sunday. We will top the evening on Saturday with an amazing dinner that Mark is going to make, some amazing steaks. So what do you think? Check it out. savingdinner.com/bloom. If you can't make it in person, well, guess what? You can make it virtually, because we are going to live stream it. Patsy, I'm so excited. I finally get to meet you. And Lynn and Nancy and Sarah, there's so many of you who are coming, which I'm so excited about. Teresa, there's my girl, Margot. Margot, you should come too. Come on. We're just going to have a blast. I want to set it up. I want to set the table for you a little bit so that you can see what is on the menu for the weekend, because it really is going to be something. But if you go to this website, savingdinner.com/bloom, all the details are there. And it even talks about a little bit about where you'll fly in and all the rest of it. And believe me, you can always contact us too, because we're more than happy to help make sure that you feel taken care of and seen. We want you a part of this. The other thing that I want to mention as well is that we have Q&A every single Friday. And I love it if you sent your questions in early. It's so easy to do. Just use email and send an email to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday goes right there in the subject line, and then boom, drop it down. I will take care of it. Chris, I'm glad you're signing up for virtual. I would love to have you here, but I get it. I know where you live, so you're far. So that's going to be really, it's just going to be absolutely something. I got to stop thinking about Full Bloom. Our supplement of the week, by the way, is organic ACV. This is the supplement that you may be missing from your life, because I will tell you, I think every person on the planet should be drinking organic ACV, just a little bit of water maybe, and drinking it down. For some of us, especially I've noticed people with thyroid issues, that burn in your throat, it's just too much. And I think it's that delicate, our throats get very sensitive, Anybody notice that? Well, anyway, you can take ACV this way, and we have to make sure it's organic, right? So go to savingdinner.com/show. That's where if you buy 3, we will send you the 4th one absolutely free. You don't have to do anything. Just add it to cart and we'll take care of the rest of it. That's how we roll. And what else do I have to tell you? A quote of the week, of course, is it's easier to act your way into a new way of thinking than to think your way into a new way of acting. Be it till you see it. Be it till you see it. I will tell you that when we become conscious of what it is that we are trying to accomplish and putting our whole selves into it, that's when we show up for ourselves and we show up for everyone else, and we make a new declaration in our lives. We change our minds about where we were and where we want to go. And that starts to really move the needle in our lives. So I love this quote. This is not fake it till you make it. This is be it till you see it. And that's a big difference. That's a big differentiator. So I love that. Hey, Doris. Anyway, I think that is all the things. Oh, no, there is one more thing. We are doing the sprint again a week from this Monday. So that's whatever. I can't even say it. I don't know what it is. But this coming Monday is the sprint webinar. It's a refresher. It's an important refresher. I have a little bit more content in there. I think if you haven't been recently, that's talking all about the importance of understanding what insulin is and how it affects you. And if you're looking for weight loss or inflammation or any kind of whatever, it makes a big old difference. So I want you to definitely sign up for it and go to savingdinner.com/sprint to sign up. Now, I understand that if we do start, we do start on June 6th. Yeah, we won't be starting on Memorial Day because everybody's going to be eating, potato salad, corn on the cob, and barbecued something, right? I know we are. That's how we roll in this household too. So we do our webinars on Mondays. So it gives you plenty of time to get everything downloaded, to get prepared for it, and also gives you plenty of time to set yourself up for success, get your sprint kit, whatever else it is that you need to do. All right, so that's everything. And if you missed any of the announcements and you want them, this is where you're going to find all the special deals, etc. Go to savingdinner.com/announcements. Everything's on one page. Isn't that great? It's so great to do stuff like that. Anyway, so this week we've been talking about the whole thing about paradox, the paradox of change, because there really is a lot of paradox when it comes down to it. And yesterday we kind of focused on practice and how there's deliberate practice and just versus regular run-of-the-mill practice. But there's a paradox in practice that I happily stumbled upon. And as you know, and I've shared this before, that I am a practicer of meditation, prayer, journaling. These are part of my morning things. I set goals every 12 weeks. And sometimes I just put my goal on repeat because I want to really make sure like I am an athlete is on repeat and has been for a year. I want to make sure that's ingrained in me. But I set other goals when I start achieving other things that I move to the next thing and to the next thing. And that's what I invite you to do. And there is a purpose behind the repetition of practice. I bet you knew that, right? But there's also the uncanny ability to throw out important practices due to boredom. How many times have you ever just said, I'm kind of bored with all of that. I'm just gonna do this one little thing. I'm just gonna have a little bit of this instead. I mean, like maybe with food, maybe with your exercise routine, maybe with, I don't know, whatever. But we do that and, we get bored. I'm going to say the B word for all of us, right? I do. Of course you do. Sometimes it's tedious and it's on repeat and it's just like, oh, here we go again, roll my eyes kind of a thing. But that's the paradox of practice right there, because practice is defined as repeated performance. Repeated performance. Now, notice it's repeated performance, not increased performance, not increased enjoyment or any such thing. It's repeated performance. And practice can be a form of going through the motions and not getting anywhere with your goals. It can be, because you're not giving it your all anymore. You're just going through the motions, just saying, well, I just did it, And then that's when at the place where practice becomes useless. And I want to mention this because especially when it comes to strength training, especially for women, if we're going to strength train, then we strength train using, we might start out with little tiny pink weights that we got maybe at Target, that they're cute and pretty. But we're going to want to graduate and get to the place where we're really challenging ourselves and we're lifting heavier. Because when we lift heavier, that's when we develop that skeletal muscle that protects the bone. That's what we're about, We're not so much about like our whole aesthetic, and there's nothing wrong with that too. But the most important thing is we're here to live a vibrant life. We want to dump inflammation as much as we possibly can. We want to become as strong as we possibly can. Because if we're going to live a vibrant, long life, then it's required that this be a part of everything. Yeah? Hey there, Corliss. Hello, Alice. Good to see you. So wise women know this. They know that just any kind of practice can be useless, but they also know that deliberate practice is the differentiator. And I love deliberate practice because it changes the way you look at this whole thing. And it also boots boredom to the curb. I'm going to explain why. Because deliberate practice requires focus. There is a huge difference between that. Deliberate practice requires focus, while regular practice does not. And as a matter of fact, that's when regular practice just slips into this whole boredom thing. And that's when it's useless and we're not getting anywhere. And we're just still 6 months later lifting those little pink weights that haven't done anything. At first they were a challenge, now they're not. We have to be in the place of examining what it is that we're doing and saying, is this something that's challenging me? Now, everything in life doesn't have to be a challenge. Of course not. But when it comes to building strength and building vibrancy, we need to be challenged, because that brings us to that next level. And that brings us to that place of seeing that we have so much more that we can do and so much more that we can give. It's really incredible how that works. So I wrote out 7 things that I believe will really help you to become a deliberate practicer. I think this is important. And by the way, our show notes are always available at savingdinner.com. You can just go in there, get our newsletter, and every day you will be given yesterday's show notes. So tomorrow's newsletter, Thursday's newsletter, will have Wednesday's Wise Women's show notes. How do you like that? So number 1 is that we need to break down the habit. We need to break down the task, whatever it is that we're doing, and identify, first of all, the goals, and also identify the weaknesses. Where am I weak on this? What isn't working here? This is not so that we can look at ourselves and go, oh, we're just not enough. We can't do it. We're just not blah, 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 blah. We can, we have a tremendous capacity for beating ourselves up and not measuring up and saying, oh, well, that's because. But what I'm saying here is if we break them down and we've just become super analytical, we're doing this for the purpose of helping us to develop further, of helping us to move the needle in our lives, of helping ourselves to become the woman that we want to be. It's just that simple. And that's what we do when we break it down. Where's the weakness here? Where's the falling apart place here? Oh, I see. I keep using these, itsy bitsy little pink weights. I'm not getting any results. And I've been wondering, maybe this program's just worthless. I see I need to challenge my muscles a little bit more. You see where I'm going with all of this? That's all it is. And what I always say about this, and you've all heard me say this before, but it's worth a mention, is that when we're doing our analysis on stuff, we can go into the place of analysis paralysis and become overwrought with emotion and just say, oh, I'm just not enough. I don't measure up, etc. But I'm saying, let's unplug from the emotion of this whole thing and just get into this place so that we can see what is going on here. And when we do that, we offer ourselves a free pass to the place of vibrancy, because now we're not investing emotionally in it. We're simply examining what the heck is going on. And that is huge. When I started to do that, everything started to change in my life, because I didn't have to emote over that. I didn't have to make myself crazy over it. Instead, I was able to step into it, fix what was broken or weak, and gird it up and move along. I think it's important that we recognize our emotions and we emote over the things that are worth emoting over. Does that make sense? Pinky's up on that one. Number 2 is to recognize the difference between mindlessness, boredom, and perfectionism. Now, these 3 things are big. First of all, mindlessness is just doing to get through. without an examination, just like I said, the little pink weights. Boredom can be the very same thing. And perfectionism is, but I did everything according to the plan. I should be getting results. So I'm just going to throw the whole thing out. Without the examination, without the deliberate, and that's what deliberate practice requires, is examination and focus. And that's the needle mover. And all of you who are pinkies up right now, I know who you are, and I know you're doing this because you've done it. You are deliberate practicers. And hasn't that just made a difference in your life? Of course it has. It moves the needle. And when we talk about moving the needle, I'm not talking about the needle between your toes when you're getting on a scale. Not necessarily, unless that's your metric. I'm talking about anything. Vibrancy, your satisfaction from your job at work, the satisfaction that you have in your relationships. When we are deliberate practicers, this is the consequences that we get to reap. And they're beneficial because our lives start to change. We go up a level. We feel good in our skin again. You know, we feel good because we're challenging ourselves a little bit. Our lives are not here. We're not meant to live a life of ease on the couch. We're not meant to not move at all. You know what happens? You don't use it, you lose it. And that includes your brain, it includes your muscles, it includes your bones, it includes your whole everything. We are meant to live vibrant lives. I mean, what did God do? The first thing he did is just, go out there and till the earth. I mean, we're given things to do right from the very beginning of time. And there's a purpose behind that, because when we have a purpose, then we are purposeful, not just taking up space, not just breathing air that we're sharing with everyone else. And that makes us deliberate practicers of a vibrant life as well. So number 3 is we have to look for the lessons, and we have to analyze them, because I promise you there is a lesson in everything that you're doing, especially if there's places where you feel like I'm falling down, it's not working out really well, I don't know what this is all about. Cool. Welcome to the human race. We all do this together, don't we? I do. I constantly find myself in this whole thing. And it's one of the reasons why I journal. It's one of the reasons why I, right now, am keeping a food diary. I think I shared this the other day. I am, yes. Your nutritionist is keeping a food diary, because we all fall short. And we need that. We need a written record sometimes of what the heck is going on. Nobody does it all right all the time. To be a deliberate practitioner means that you are going to be this person who steps away and says, something's up, let's get into the weeds and see what it is, without freaking out. And that's what a food diary does. So I have 8 million notebooks sitting around. I just pulled it up and my food diary is in there. Aha, this is what's going on. That's what happens when we do these kind of things. Number 4 is, speaking of the lessons, allow for mistakes to do the teachings, because guess what? That's when your aha moments happen, just like that. Like when I was looking at my food diary, I was like, oh, girl, who do you think you are? You think that doesn't count? Yeah, it counts, And I also made note, I remember last night when we had dinner, we had hot melt burgers, and I had made this ginormous salad. And usually I eat the whole thing, even when I'm stuffed. But, good food, even good food on a full stomach, and you're just eating it because it's good and you don't want it to go to waste, is going to go to waste. If you know what I'm saying, it's not good. Your hunger hormones are there for a reason, to help you to know when to stop and when to start. So I said to Mark, well, I'm full. And I ate 3/4 of my salad. And understand, when I make a salad, I've got everything in the kitchen sink in there. I've got these little I buy those baby sweet peppers. Have you seen them? Little bell peppers. They're yellow, red, and orange. I put those in there, put a little green onion in there. I've got pine nuts in there, little toasted pine nuts. I make that. What else? Grate a carrot. I put all kinds of stuff and different lettuces, and it's beautiful salad. So I always feel like this is, my mitochondria is just yum, 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 loving it all up. But when you're full, you're full. And I was past full at that point. I was more than full. And I kept eating it. Why? Because the nutrition, I wanted that nutrition. Well, you know what? The nutrition gets negated when you're overeating. I don't care how good it is. When we strap on the feedback and we just keep going because it's there, that's going to be a problem. And it's inflammatory too. So I said to Mark, if you want the rest of my salad, here it is. He's like, oh yeah, I'm still hungry. Of course, he pays like 3 or 4 hours sometimes of pickleball a day. So he's got he's got a teenager's appetite right now. And I don't do nearly that much exercise, though I do it every day. It still doesn't mean that I have earned all that extra food. Does that make sense? So I'm sharing my mind with you, and I'm sharing my thought process with you, just in case you have found yourself in that place of doing the very same thing. If you are satisfied, put your fork down and say that's enough. Even if it means some of that salad's going to go to waste, even if it's that good, that good of food. It just doesn't make any sense. Number 5 is put your head into it. A master pianist said, it doesn't matter how long you practice with your fingers. If you practice with your head, 2 hours is plenty. How about that? This is showing you that we have to put our whole selves into it. It is not enough to say, oh, I know that, whatever. We also have to go to the place of understanding that we need to be present in what we're doing. The only time that I say that, we want to just mindlessly be, in the subconscious and automatic pilot everything, when you're doing housework kind of stuff or mundane things or whatever. But when you're doing when you're eating, we don't want automatic pilot ever. But we've gotten in trouble with that. When you are in relationship with someone and you're having a conversation, do you want automatic pilot? Do you want somebody to just answer you with, yeah, sure, or uh-huh, or do you want to be heard? You see what I'm saying with all of that? That's deliberate practice shows up in relationships. It shows up in the way that we eat. It shows up in the way that we conduct ourselves because vibrancy is on the line. And this is how we attain it, is through this type of practice. Embrace feedback and constructive criticism because creativity kicks in and a new level of practice emerges. Have you noticed that? I think a lot of times that people have a tendency to be maybe a little evil when they leverage their criticism. But if somebody asks you for honest feedback, then don't be afraid to give it, and give it in a gentle, kind, loving way. And accept it at the same time. If you ask for it, accept it as well. This helps us to sharpen our axis so we can bring those trees down faster. This helps us so that we can shortcut what it is that we're trying to do. Because oftentimes we can't see the forest through the trees and somebody else can. But I always say too that, make sure it comes from a trusted source. There's a plenty of people out there that I would just kind of button my lip and not offer them an opportunity. You know who they are. Be discerning. And number 7, this is the most important one, is that deliberate practice is truly an all-in approach. If you're going to do it, go all in. Because I will tell you this, and you know this exactly what I'm going to say. All in is way less exhausting than 95% in, or even 97% in. Because at that point, you have mental exhaustion. Am I or am I not? Should I or should I not? Should I eat the cake? Should I eat the pie? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I have the snack after dinner? Should I do this? We're going out to a restaurant, so maybe I should just have a glass of wine even though I'm sprinting. On and on and on it goes. The mental fatigue that comes with that also disrupts this whole idea of deliberate practice, because deliberate practice has requirements. that you are in it to win it. You're not in it to dabble. You're not in there to play. You're in there for a reason, for a purpose, because that's what deliberate practitioners do. So start deliberately practicing and watch for the changes that you're seeking. This is how vibrancy shows up. We've got a million tools in our shop, savingdinner.com/tools. They're all still there. And you're more than welcome to start using some of these to help set you up for success. It's important. And I'll tell you what, one thing that I know about deliberate practice is that the more you practice it, the more intense you become with it, the more fulfilling and vibrant your life is. It just works that way. How do you like that? I hope you enjoyed that show. I love this idea of deliberate practice, and this is my own personal thing, and how I've set things up has changed everything. So I hope it will to you too. Peace be with you. I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget, if you missed out on the announcements, go to savingdinner.com/announcement. That's where all the action is. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.